Bonsoir tout le monde. Merci, bâtisseurs et amis, d'être parmi nous en cette importante occasion. My special thanks to our campaign volunteers and our embassy event, Mitsumi Takahashi, for your dedication this evening. And our heartfelt thanks to Andrew Molson and Lena Saputo Jr. for taking up the invitation to be our leaders in this campaign. It's super important to the institution, and thank you very much. I'll just pause for a moment because I know John Wiener well after 5 years plus at Concordia, to say that I have introduced my sons to him on several occasions, and I've talked about his career with them. I can't think of a more inspiring person of a certain age for young teenagers to meet than somebody who started with a modest life and has had not only incredible prosperity, measured by wealth, but measured by a number of friends, impact on the community, the kind of difference he's made in the world, and the kind of opportunities he's opened up for other people. For my sons to meet somebody like that has been very special, and they frequently will say to me when we're discussing one matter or another, now what would John Wiener do about that? And I always say to them, whatever John Wiener will do, he will do a lot, I can tell you that. So I was worrying all evening that I was going to follow the artists who swing from the heavens, but actually following John Wiener is a lot harder this evening. John, to you and Susan, our sincere thanks. You know that we are deeply grateful for the leadership you're showing in the campaign. Thank you very much. There's a lot that a university president standing up here after 5 years could say to a room full of really devoted people. Some of you have been devoted to Concordia University for your entire lives, and for some of you that's a very long time, and we're deeply grateful for your support. The campaign is for $250 million, as you heard from our colleagues earlier, and we're at the halfway point already, so that's a very good bit of news to add to the evening. So I thought rather than really focusing on the money, I would just talk about some of the values of the institution and where we're going. And I'll give you the abbreviated version. You can always invite me to come and see you, to give you the longer version, or to have coffee with you, or to talk to your employees, or as it may be. Higher education's at a really pivotal moment. What are we going to do in the digital revolution? How are things going to change profoundly for the next generation of learners? How we deliver education, how we do research, how we engage in the public sphere, all really up for grabs. And in some ways, Concordia has been foresightful. So we started Knowledge One maybe 15 years ago to do online education, and it's playing a key role in Canada, both in the public sector and the private sector, in terms of reimagining how people learn things and how you tell them things and how you help them grow. But it isn't all about online learning. It's still going to be about the people and about the relationships. And I'm happy to say that this campaign can afford to be mostly about people and about talent. And why is that? It's partly because John Wiener and others who joined him in the real estate committee 10, 15 years ago built some beautiful buildings. We have beautiful facilities for our staff, our faculty, and our students at the university. And that makes a difference, for sure. But what it means is that this campaign can now be about talent, about getting the right people here and keeping them here and supporting them and providing them the opportunities that they want and that we need and that Canada needs, that Quebec needs. So that kind of work, that kind of talent building, that's the focus of this campaign. What are we going to do with all these people as we recruit them? First of all, it's something I like saying. We've had 2 years in a row of record recruitment periods. We are one of the few universities in Canada that's continuing to grow in the middle of a demographic dip. And that's good news too. What are we going to do with them? We're trying to reimagine how universities work. It's not so easy to do. But gone are the days where universities are founded on a 19th century principle that you have this discipline and that discipline and that discipline. Actually now what you have are disciplines that move horizontally. You have students who want to move horizontally. You have faculty who want to move horizontally. And we're making good progress these days on fostering a culture where people can do exactly as you heard in the video. You can go down the hallway and you can talk to people outside your discipline, and you're finding that new disciplines are emerging or new combinations. This kind of interdisciplinary work is the word that is used inside the business. This matters to people, and it's one of the ways that Concordia can thrive as a next-gen university. That's what we mean by next-gen, is that we're looking to the future. We're not looking in the rearview mirror as we drive the car. We're trying to really build an institution that speaks to the next generation of students and researchers and creative writers and artists and everybody to make the world a better place. We have some preoccupations in the upcoming campaign. One of them will be around health research, and you may have noticed a decided flavor in tonight's video presentations. Health research is obviously critical to all of us, and it's also half of all of the research funding in all of Canada goes to health research. And we have today more than 100 faculty members already who do health research in one form or another. So we're hoping for a health institute as one of the projects that will come out of this campaign that will bring kind of coalescence to that group of people who are doing research now, and will give new opportunities for those at the university today and for those who are coming to work on some of the most serious problems facing the modern world. So we have strong programs now in the sciences, we have strong programs in engineering, we have strong programs across the board. The John Molson School continues to be very highly ranked nationally and internationally, and to make sure that we hang on to those strengths while we move forward is also key. But I wouldn't want to finish talking without saying something about the importance of democracy, citizenship, literacy, all of those. Sometimes people call them the soft skills. I teach in those areas. I don't think they're that soft, but clear thinking, clear writing, these matter to us. And I would say more broadly, we're at a period where we're being reminded that universities matter. They matter. It's a difficult time for public institutions, for sure. It's a difficult time to lead a public institution, as you might appreciate, particularly in the Carré Rouge period of Quebec history. But philosophy, writing, history, sociology, economics, those disciplines count too, and they make a difference in the world, and our students still come to Concordia to study those, as well as other disciplines which are now sort of more popular, if you can put it that way. So the role of imagination, the role of creativity, the making a better world, this all really matters. It's a complicated time for public institutions, but Concordia is up to it. We're up to it. And one of the phrases that was in the video tonight that I made a note of here is Jennifer McGrath from our psychology department said, Concordia is a place that's willing to take chances. And I think that's absolutely true. And it distinguishes us, actually, in the pantheon of all the institutions of higher learning in Canada and around the world. You heard that we're number 2 in Canada, and in North America, number 1 in Canada for universities under 50. When I first came to Concordia, I had to give a talk about what I wanted to do. Always a dangerous moment for new presidents coming from Toronto. As you can appreciate, people don't really enjoy the idea that you have your blueprint in your back pocket and you've come from Toronto and you're going to tell people in Montreal how to do it. Seemed like a dangerous moment. I survived it, clearly. But I learned a new word. Philippe Beauregard came to my office in Toronto and was coaching me on this rite of passage. And the word that he taught me, the French word, one of my first French words was hyper branché, or branché. And I think Concordia is branché. It's absolutely branché. And the fact that all these students want to come and study with us and people around the world want to come and teach at Concordia, they know that. They understand that. I'll just think I'll maybe stop. I want to say a couple of thanks. There are a number of members of the Board of Governors here this evening. Thank you for being present. I want to send a special thanks to the chair of our board, Normand Hébert. I've said to him in private many times, I'm really lucky because if you get a great board chair and you get a halfway decent president, you can go places. If one or the other doesn't like the other one or doesn't get along or whatever, you don't go very far. And Concordia is going very far, and I really thank Norm Hébert, and I salute him. I want to thank the team from the Advancement Office led by Bram Friedman, who I had to talk into this job. He didn't ask for it. I asked him, and I think the success of the campaign so far and all the kind of momentum we're having around fundraising, philanthropy fundraising, goes to his team, and I thank Bram right there and his team. The problem with university presidents is we could talk all night. I will spare you. I will end on a note. We did an internal launch last week, and Graham Carr, the provost, and we did a conversation for about maybe 200 plus university employees. It was a super fun conversation. People said to me later, I get that you guys understand each other, you like each other, and you're in sync. And that was absolutely, you could feel it in the room. And that kind of teamwork, I have a wonderful team, many of them are here with us this evening. That event was also hosted by Mitsumi, who promised in public what I had already understood in private was that in her will, God forbid that this should come to pass for very many decades, she's giving me her dogs, which I covet, her dogs. I'll just say it's a real pleasure to be with you this evening. There's so many friends, former board chairs, major philanthropists who have made a difference to Concordia. We're counting on you and people you know to help the institution. It's a great institution. It is hyper branché, and it's going great places, and has a great team, and we get the most amazing students. Bonne soirée.